Hey guys, my name's Jasmine. I'm going to be talking to you today about the visual communication major at FIDM. First of all, I want to start off with saying that I looked on YouTube and I've seen a lot of fashion design majors giving their opinion about FIDM, and most of the stuff that I've seen is pretty accurate. A lot of people come to FIDM thinking that, oh, they want to go there because Elsie went there, or oh, it's going to be so much fun because it's party time, you know, it's the first time you're away from home, so it's like kind of free time for you. But really, I think that's perceived totally wrong, because if you're spending so much money, you know, you want to get good grades in your classes, and in order to get good grades in your classes, you have to spend a lot of time on the projects they give you. The visual communication major is filled with projects. You have multiple projects a week sometimes. You have, most likely, I can tell you that every single class you have, you're going to have at least 3 projects to do, 3 big projects anyway. All of the teachers there are actively in the industry. They know what they're talking about. They love when you ask questions, and when you're just really into the class, it makes their life so much easier. And it makes your time there much more enjoyable, and, I mean, you'll learn the things instead of just trying to, like, quickly remember them just to get through the test. They like when you pick their brain and stuff, because it's kind of like, you know, their chance to show you like what it's really like, instead of like having it sugar-coated, because they've been there, they've done that, so they know. Some of the things that you can do with visual communications major, a lot of people get this confused because they're like, oh, well, visual communications, what is that? You know, they don't really know what it is. But the way I like to sum it up is temporary advertising. You could do anything from window displays, store planning. We take a drafting class, so we learn how to make floor plans for retail spaces. You could do set designing, set decorating, advertising. We do movie posters, CD covers, so we get a little bit into graphic design as well. In our major, it's so broad. You could do so many different things, so the skills that we learn are very wide range. We learn how to make exact replicas of like different things. Like, let's say this. Let's say I want to make an exact replica of this, even though it's like material. They teach us how to do that with like molding, silicone molds. It'd be a lot harder than this, but if you're doing set decorating and you place this in the back scene of a room, then obviously they're not going to be like, oh, well, that's not a real teddy bear, because it comes out looking exactly like this. Every crease, every line that you see in here, that's how it will look. So it's really cool. It's like a lot of cool stuff that you always wanted to learn how to do, you know, and you're actually learning it now. But I have to say, it's a lot of work. It's hard to go to work and go to school at the same time with this major, because the projects do take a long time. I was in a corner where I had a sketching class, critical concepts. It took me 16 hours a week, which is 1 week, 1 class a week, 16 hours for the homework per week. So it's like I was pretty much spent like 3 days in a row in the library just sketching and coloring it and all this stuff, and it's like, you know, you get out of it what you put in. Like, I got a lot of good work for my portfolio, which you would want to do a lot of good work, because you're going to need all that work to put in your portfolio. So definitely keep your stuff. Definitely do best quality work as you can. And also, you're competing with thousands of other people in the industry that took their schooling seriously. So it's really important to really take it seriously and just really like get as much out of it as you can. Our library is amazing. We have one of the best libraries from all the art schools. We have issues dating back to like the 40s of Vogue, and just like all these things that you would be like in awe to see, we have. So I just think that you just have to really take advantage of what we have there. Also, I really enjoyed the visual presentation class, which is a window class. We actually have windows within our campus that we get to design, and it's always fun because we have to make all the props in the windows. We don't go out and buy things to put in the windows. We make it ourselves. So it's like really creative, really hands-on. If you don't like getting dirty, this major is probably not for you. It's really rugged. It's not like, oh, all pretty. Unless you want to do, like, you can also do event planning, styling, runway design, things of that nature, where it's not so much construction. But if you want to do more like set decorating and visual merchandising, it's a little bit more of construction and hands-on. But so I'm going to just give you a brief overview of the first quarter, one of our first quarters. So the first quarter you're going to be taking Survey of Visual Communications. That class is basically, it gives you an overview of like just the major. They teach you how to cut, different materials that you'll be using, different concepts. You have a couple, like, you have to get a designer and create a concept for their fashion line during that quarter. So that's like really fun. You have to like design a bag and make like a little mock runway, so that's fun. Then you have your pretty much your general ed classes that every creative visual student hates taking, such as English composition and college mathematics. Once you take those your first quarter, those are like the only two really general ed classes that you'll need to take until your last quarter. Then you have Survey of Western Art 1. That is a class of, I believe, 3, and it is just telling you about like the Western art and some of the greatest painters, some of the greatest sculptors, and it just gives you a lot of information that I think you should really take seriously. Write these notes down because, you know, it's good to know. It's really good knowledge to know. And then last but not least is Color and Design Theory, which this class is very important because it teaches you all the fundamentals of colors and how colors can stimulate emotion, how colors, like what color appeals to what, such as red appeals to hunger, purple appeals to sleeping and relaxation. So I'm just going to show you one project that a couple projects that I did. This project is a project that we had to do. These are all magazine clippings in a color scheme that goes from dark red to light red to darker orange to lighter orange to darker yellow, and it goes from dark to light back to dark again. So I'll show you an up-close view of this. Okay, and this is the color wheel that we had to do. We had to do a color wheel, and you get to choose any design that you want. So I chose this little spiky color wheel, which I thought was pretty cool. So you have to, they teach you exactly how to paint, the strokes of the paintbrush, how it should look, how much water you should add to the paint to get the colors, how to mix paint, what colors mix to make what, and it's just a really fun introductory class. You get to paint and just have a lot of fun, so that's always good. And that's it for your first quarter. I won't really get into the other quarters right now, but I will be uploading a couple more videos for you guys, talking about other quarters and my experiences as I went through FIDM. So if you have any questions at all, please email me, leave me comments, whatever you want to do, and I'll just upload videos answering your questions and just giving you a little bit more insight to see if visual communications is the major for you. So thanks for watching, and I hope that you continue. Bye!